Have you ever noticed that the moment you stop chasing, she starts? You've been texting her for weeks, always initiating, always keeping the conversation going, always asking about her day. She responds when she feels like it, takes hours, treats your messages like optional homework. Then one day, you get busy. You don't text good morning, you don't ask about her weekend, you just live your life. And suddenly, your phone's blowing up. Hey stranger, you've been quiet lately. Everything okay? Most men see this and think, so I have to play games? I have to be a jerk? I have to manipulate her? No, that's not what's happening here. What's actually happening is something the Stoics understood Liang Qian years ago. When you stop chasing, you're not playing games, you're finally choosing yourself. And that choice, it changes everything. The Stoic perspective. In this video, we're going to look at this through a Stoic lens. Not pickup artist tactics, not manipulation, not games, but the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca applied to why women chase when you finally stop. We'll cover why your attention loses value when you give it away freely. The psychological reason ignoring her triggers something primal, how to pull back without looking bitter or petty, what the Stoics taught about detachment and desire, and the one thing that makes you impossible to ignore. If you're tired of chasing women who treat you like an option, this video is for you. Let's begin. The illusion of control. We chase because we believe our attention can change things. If I just text her one more time, if I just explain how I feel, if I just prove my worth. But Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, said something that cuts through all of this. Some things are within our power and some are not. Let's break that down. Her attention, not in your power. Her feelings, not in your power. Her respect, not in your power. Your dignity, yes. Your time, yes. Your peace, yes. When you chase, you hand over power over things within your control to things outside it. That's not love. That's self-abandonment. The Stoics understood that we suffer not because of what happens to us, but because of what we think about what happens. You're not suffering because she's distant. You're suffering because you've attached your worth to her response. And that's a game you can never win. The value of your attention. Here's what most men don't understand. Your attention has value, but when you give it away freely, when you're always available, always responding, always chasing, you're telling her it costs nothing. Think about it like this. If something is unlimited, always available, always there, do you value it? No, you take it for granted. But the moment something becomes scarce, the moment you might lose it, suddenly it's valuable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." When you withdraw your attention, you're not punishing her. You're demonstrating something she can't argue with. You are enough, even without her. That's not arrogance. That's truth. A man who knows his worth doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't chase validation. He simply lives his life, and those who want to be part of it will make the effort. Those who don't, they were never meant to stay. The fear of loss. Let me tell you a story about how I learned this the hard way. Years ago, I was dating this woman. For the first few months, she was always available, always responsive. I knew where I stood. And you know what happened? I started getting bored. I noticed her annoying habits, lost interest, started thinking maybe I could do better. Then something shifted. She pulled away, stopped texting first, got busy with friends. Suddenly, her attention wasn't guaranteed anymore. My brain did a complete 180. Suddenly, I couldn't stop thinking about her. All those annoying habits became quirky and endearing. I went from "I can do better" to "wait, maybe she's the one," in about 2 weeks. What happened? The moment I thought I might lose her, she became infinitely more valuable. It's basic human psychology, and the Stoics understood it well. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." When she sees you wasting none of your time chasing her, something clicks. She realizes, he was never dependent on me, I was dependent on his attention. And that realization, that's where the chase begins. Removing her ego. Now, let's talk about the second part of our title, How to Remove Her Ego. Here's the truth. You cannot remove her ego. That's not your job. That's her work. But you can absolutely stop feeding it. Every time you react to her tests, her silence, her games, her distance, you're validating something dangerous. You're telling her that her behavior should control your emotions. Epictetus said, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, 'He does not know my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these.'" Her opinion of you is her problem. Your reaction is your choice. When you stop reacting, you starve her ego of the fuel it needs to manipulate you. She expects you to chase. She expects you to beg. She expects you to explain. When you don't, her ego goes hungry. And a hungry ego, it either gets desperate or moves on. Both outcomes work in your favor, because the goal isn't to control her. The goal is to be so centered in yourself that her games lose all power over you. The truth about hot and cold. Now, some of you might be thinking, but isn't this just playing games? Hot one day, cold the next? Here's the difference. When you're playing games, you're pretending to be busy. You're pretending to have options. You're pretending not to care. When you're living a Stoic life, you're not pretending anything. You're hot when you're genuinely present. You're distant when you're genuinely focused. There's no manipulation in that. There's only truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Stop arguing about whether she should want you. Be someone worth wanting. When your attention fluctuates because your life fluctuates, because you have a mission, goals, priorities, that's not a tactic. That's just being a man with a purpose. And purpose? That's the most attractive thing in the world. The addiction of uncertainty. Why does pulling away make her think about you more? Because the human brain craves closure. It hates unfinished business. When you're predictable, always there, always responding, always available, she solves you. Game over. Move on to the next puzzle. But when you're unpredictable, not because you're manipulative, but because you have a life, she can't solve you. And the human mind, it obsesses over things it can't solve. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." She's not suffering because you're gone. She's suffering because her imagination is running wild with possibilities. What is he doing? Who is he with? Does he still care? These questions keep you alive in her mind long after you've left the room. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to do anything to make this happen. Just live your life, fully, completely, without needing her permission. The uncertainty takes care of itself. The real goal now, I need to tell you something most dating advice won't. The goal isn't to make her chase you. The goal is to become the kind of man who doesn't need to be chased. Epictetus said, "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." When you truly don't need her validation, when her attention is a nice bonus, not a necessity, something fundamental shifts. You stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop explaining, you stop overthinking every text, you just live. And that's when you become impossible to ignore, because a man who doesn't need validation is the rarest thing in the world. And rarity, that's what creates value. She doesn't chase you because you ignored her. She chases you because your silence made her realize something. She was taking you for granted. And the only way to teach that lesson is to remove your presence entirely, not as punishment, as protection. The final truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that should be engraved in every man's mind. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If your thoughts are consumed with her, what she's doing, who she's with, whether she'll text back, your happiness depends on her. That's not Stoic, that's slavery. The Stoics taught that freedom isn't about doing what you want. It's about not being controlled by what you don't want. When you're free from needing her attention, you're free to actually enjoy it when it comes. And here's the paradox. The less you need her, the more she wants you. Because she can feel it. Women aren't dumb. They can sense when a man's world doesn't revolve around them, and that safety of not being someone's entire universe, that's what makes her lean in. Not games, not manipulation, just a man who's so centered in himself that her attention is a gift, not a necessity. That's the Stoic way. Conclusion. If you've made it this far, you already feel it. There's a shift happening inside you, a recognition that you've been giving away your power without realizing it. And now you know. Take back your thoughts, take back your time, take back your life. Let her wonder where you went. Because when you're busy becoming the man you were meant to be, you don't have time to chase anyone. And that's when they start chasing you. If this video resonated, hit like. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And comment below, I choose myself. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom.